welcome to a new edition of Today's Youth. Our guest today is Loujain Eddib. She is a graduate from University in Budapest and her major is International Relations. We'll try to know more about Loujain. She is our guest today. Good morning, Loujain.
Good morning, how are you?
Great. So, Loujain, I was just mentioned that you are a graduate from University in Budapest. Can you tell us more about your experience?
Okay, so basically I study international relations, focused on diplomacy and international cooperation. The reason I went there, it was out of the blue. I finished my senior year somewhere else. That's why I decided I wanted to continue abroad. So my experience there was, just to sum it up, it was amazing. It was full of diversity. I met so many people. I grew myself. Like, I felt like I met with the person I want to be in 5 years, maybe. I can go in depth later, but basically it was so enriching because I met people from everywhere around the world, and that was exactly what I wanted to do. That was the reason I studied international relations, not just politics, but just because culture-wise.
Yes. So tell us more about your exchange year in the States and why did you choose this major?
My exchange year in the States was back in 2016 to 2017. And we were chosen out of like 3,000 people around Egypt, and then they chose only 50 students to be able to go.
So you apply for this exchange?
Yeah, it's a cultural scholarship. So you go there, you stay there with a host family for a year, you get to learn their culture, and then you also introduce yourself. You're basically as an ambassador of Egypt. So you get to be chosen, you take like a year workshop. They actually chose you based on several workshops that you go through and tests and experiments, not experiments, I'm sorry, but like just tests that you go through. And then after like a whole year, they choose the 50 that they will be going to the States.
Yes, tell me more about these tests and how did you pass these tests?
Okay, so basically you were in group, like group tests, or not tests, I don't know how to put it, but it's just group exercises. For instance, they ask you how are you going to deal with your money if you live by yourself. They give you like several tastes, like chocolate, salt, etc. And then they ask you, this is how life is. What did you feel when you tasted the chocolate and the salt? And it shows you what are the ups and downs you get to see when you live abroad. Other were games, like card games, that it's a metaphor to show you how you will live there alone in a different culture.
That you don't family.
Yeah, exactly. That you go there, you don't change how they live, you just go there and adapt to how they live, and then you learn what they do. So it was a card game basically showing you that you need to respect others' background, culture, that you just don't go and intrude yourself there.
Was it an easy experience, or it was hard at first?
It had its ups and downs. Like, it was, for me, it was very significant, and it had the most impact on me, honestly. But it had its downs because obviously you go to a family, you don't know who they are, you don't know what they do. You get to see how they live because you have to adapt how they live inside their house, the chores. I got to do things I've never done before in Egypt, like even with my family. So there was so many contradictions between them, but it was still amazing for me.
You said that this experience helped you to choose international relations as a major.
Yeah.
Can you explain to us more?
Okay, so during my year there, I got chosen to go to a governmental workshop in DC, the capital. And they chose like 100 out of 700 exchange students from all over the world. It wasn't just Egyptian, it was from everywhere. And then I got to go there, and of course you go and you see the history of the States, you get to see the monuments, etc. And there was like a time where you had to go and meet the senators of the states that you were placed in. So I met my senator and representative, and I was talking to him normally, and I found myself asking questions about politics, about how you deal with societal issues, and I was just asking him in deep, and then he was like, you should actually be a politician, you're really good with it. And that's when I went outside of his office. I was like, okay, I like politics, I'm gonna study international relations. Yeah.
And why did you choose Budapest to study international relations in its universities?
It came out of nowhere. I was still looking to where I'm going to study in Europe. I was torn between Germany or UK, but then I remembered I had a friend in Budapest.
Yes.
So I called him. Yeah, he was a friend of mine and college student, and I called him and I was like, how is it living there? And he was like, it's full of diversity. And again, that was always my goal. I love meeting people from everywhere. He said, it's very nice living here for student life. The people, everyone you're gonna meet, they're very nice. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna apply. And it just happened. I got accepted and I went.
So what did you learn from living abroad?
I've learned so many things, but first of all is like how to live by yourself, because you got to see the world from a different perspective by living yourself without parents, without anyone you know. Of course, you get homesick a lot. So it's how you tend to deal with the struggles or the problems you get to see. So first you need to learn how to be responsible to be able to surpass so many things. And also the most important is cultural awareness and how to respect others. And you get to deal with every single person from all over the world. So you have to be able to know what to say, what to not say. So you were very respectful of others. And just, for me, I got so many knowledge from everyone. I got to learn so many things from them. And I got to be the person I am right now. I became stronger, I feel. I knew how to deal with things that maybe not everyone knows how to deal with. Because living abroad is not that easy.
And what is your advice to young or youths who decide to go and live abroad or study abroad? Maybe?
Yeah, I say go for it 100%. My advice is don't let anyone influence you there. Take your decisions by yourself. You calculate it however you want, because this is your life. You get to live it there. Don't let anyone ruin it. Don't let even friends ruin it for you. Your parents always trust you when you do anything. So talk to your parents about what you're gonna do, take their advice. Those are the only people I advise you to take tips from, your parents. But just live and don't overthink about what you're doing there.
So tell me more about the support of your family.
Actually, my family has always been very, very supportive of my decision. They know that I take my studies very serious. And when they found that I want to study more abroad, I want to be more enriched in whatever I want to do, they were always, go do that, go follow your dreams, because they know at the end that I want to go somewhere and learn. I will be back to them. It's like, my aim is never to leave this country. On the contrary, I go learn and come back to give what I've learned.
Yes. Give yours a short break and we'll be back. Welcome back. As I've just mentioned, that our guest for today is Loujain Adib, and she is still telling us her experience about studying abroad and her major international relations. So Loujain, you participated in MUN, or the Modern United Nations. What did you learn from this experience, and did it influence your decision to study international relations?
I've always been to MUN since I was in grade 10, and that was the first experience when I was in my school. In grade 10, I went, and that's when I didn't know I'd like to talk about solving issues in the world and finding peace, etc. But when I went the first time in grade 10, I got the best delegate because I was really into it. I was talking with my heart out, as if I was representing my country. So Modern United Nations, as you represent a country, it's like a simulation, and you get to talk about the issue they give you. So ever since grade 10, I've been going consecutively each year to different MUNs. I've even been to one in Budapest. It was an international MUN, and I got an honorable mention. So my experience was, I get to know how to debate diplomatically, how to talk professionally if you're in this situation, because obviously I want to be in this field, so I want to know how people talk, how they communicate exactly, because it's not easy. I also got to know so many things about the world, because that's when I was invested to learn about what's happening around us, read the news every day. I was interested and more aware of things happening around me because of Modern United Nations.
So, Lujain, also tell us more about your work today. As you said that you work as a project coordinator in a development company. Tell me more about your job.
So I work as a assistant project coordinator in a development company. Basically, we always strive to help the community, to help the society by the projects we do. For example, we have a project focusing on the entrepreneurship ecosystem and how you help them grow as a startup. So our projects vary from like different perspectives, but the aim is to help basically the society and the communities and the country to grow and develop.
Yes. Didn't you think about joining Egyptian Foreign Ministry to become an ambassador? I think you're a good candidate.
Thank you. Actually, I hope one day. I'm still.
You have this idea in your mind?
Yeah, I have it. I'm just still growing and branching out to what I want to do. So I'm still growing, and I don't know where I want to be. But my dream was always to be an ambassador. Ever since I decided I want to study international relations.
Yes.
So I was like, maybe one day I'll join the ministry or the foreign affairs, the UN. Maybe. I'm still trying to grow and explore.
So let's move now to talk about your hobbies and what do you like to do in your life?
I have so many extracurricular activities, but apart from going to MUN, because I've stopped that, currently I play American football or flag football. And it's a very entertaining game. It's very strategic. I've been playing it for 2 years now, but before that, I also loved playing basketball for 4 years. And before that, I played rhythmic gymnastics for like 12 years in my life. And that's when I even coached a team. I was a coach after I left gymnastics. So that's where I also experienced I like to teach. I like to dance a lot. Yeah, because from rhythmic gymnastics, it's more of a dancing routines and you get to do so many things when you're doing the routine. So when I left it, I love dancing and I continued dancing until now.
So, Lujain, tell me more about the importance of extracurricular activities.
Basically, the activities that I've done is who I am. They shaped my mind towards what I've always wanted to do. They teach you personal skills, communication skills, and even they teach you how to deal with people in general.
Yes.
And they give you this, character that you don't get to see at schools. Because at schools, you get to see the education, the books, but extracurriculum show you life experience and skills that you don't get from just studying a book.
So if you think about your dreams or aspirations in life, tell me more about your ambitions and your goals.
Honestly, one day I hope, as I said, like to be in the UN one day, and it's very cliche, but to world peace and world security. I've always wanted to be in this field to just even focus locally more on helping those who cannot find someone to help them and help the community grow and develop, and also just continue who I am to be able to be successful in what I want. Yes.
You said in the beginning that your main studies at first were in German language. Did you find it hard to shift and study in English after that? And what did you learn from the German culture?
Honestly, from the German culture, I've learned how to be determined and persistent because, when you're in a German environment, you always have to be on the line. You have to do whatever you're asked for. And your head is very, it's like organized. The reason I left German school was because I was a gymnast at that time, and it was hard to, be on the same level with both. It was so hard to follow each because I had trainings until like 10 p.m. or something, and then I go to school, so it wasn't easy. But German school definitely made me determined and persistent and never give up on what I want to do.
So let me go back to the point of American football. As a girl, it's not common here in Egypt to find a girl who is practicing football. Yeah. So tell me more about it. Do you join championships? Do you think that we need to encourage young girls here in Egypt to join American football?
Yeah, the game is really fun to be, and you can learn it. It's not easy at first, but then by time you get to learn. You have two positions, either you're a receiver or you're in defense. So as a receiver, you get to catch the ball that's thrown from you, from the QB. But both of them are very entertaining, and you need to focus on who's in front of you to be able to move in the field. And definitely, I would suggest that we need to show the game more in Egypt and encourage other girls to join, because it's not tackling. For girls, it's flag football.
Yes.
You have a flag around you, and then whoever takes the flag away, you just get to stop. So I definitely encourage people to start joining, because I didn't know about it until 2 years ago, and when I did, it's like the main thing for me now after my work.
And do you have a coach who can help you to practice this sport? Do you think that here in Egypt that we have this attention to football games when it comes to girls playing football?
No, but I would really love to stress on how it should grow as like a game for girls, because it's more mainstream for guys. It's known even from the States, American football for guys.
Yes.
Our coaches are like men, and they play in the men's team. So they're very well experienced when they teach us. But we should definitely support and encourage more girls to join the game, and even to enlarge the game in our society, because it should be more also for girls, not for men, because girls can do it even, I'm not going to say better, but they can even do it in different ways than just men how they do it.
Yes. Going back to your current job as a coordinator in a development company, how can you achieve your dreams when it comes to working in a development company?
Every time I feel like I've had an influence on someone's life, every time I felt like I made a change through the projects that we do, I feel like I've achieved something. Every time someone came to me during events or projects and they told me, thank you so much for helping us, something inside me moves, and I'm like, I've achieved something towards my dreams. It's like, my goal was always to make a change for someone's life, to help them find what they want. Even if they don't have a shelter or they don't have a job, they want to start their business, just giving them a simple bean, they're going to grow it. So just having the influence on someone was enough for me.
Though your job is not currently related to international relations.
It's kind of a sector, no? Like, they're all under political science, but then you get to be divided, international relations, all Middle Eastern studies. So it's kind of related. Like, in my major, I took social studies, and I took political theory. So in social studies actually was the most interesting subject for me. And when I got the opportunity to work in social development, I was like, I'm going to take the chance.
Yes. And short break, dear viewers, and we'll be back. Welcome back, dear viewers, and we are still hosting Loujain Adib, and she is telling us more about her career in life and her goals and achievements after studying international relations in Budapest. So going back to your life in Budapest, and do you find that studying international relations in Budapest is a little bit different from studying here, or they are almost the same?
I would say almost the same. When I used to talk to my friend who studies the same major here, and I used to tell her what are the subjects that we're taking, she was like, oh, we're taking the same. The difference is about the method of teaching. Like, for me there, it was more captivating because they made you included in every subject. They made you even do seminars and experience, like they even got us diplomats back there in my school. They used to get diplomats to talk to us and tell us how is it being a diplomat, for instance. So for me, the difference is the method of teaching, but the curriculum is exactly the same. Maybe just a difference that you're in Europe, so they teach you more about Europe, and here in Egypt, they teach you more Egyptian history.
Yes.
So it's where the region is.
Yes. Do you have any plans to pursue your international relations career and do a master's or a PhD in this field?
Yeah, I'm hoping to do a master degrees hopefully soon, but I get to change a bit to political sociology because
This is related more to your work now.
yeah, I found they're all again under the umbrella of political science because again it's all politics. So I studied international relation. It was an international scale, but then I found that I want to be more focused locally and more like inside.
So your main aim is to serve the society.
Yeah.
Now you have this target in your mind.
Yeah. And I don't think it's been changing for a while.
And tell me more, how can you do that through your development projects? I need you to be more focused on this issue. You said that it's a startup project. It has just been started recent.
No, one of the projects is we focus on in the entrepreneurial ecosystem. So basically, you had those
Ecosystem, you said.
Yeah, the
So it's about
entrepreneurial.
saving the environment.
No, entrepreneurial ecosystem. So it's more towards people's like.
People. Yes.
Yeah. So for instance, they have a startup idea and they don't know where to go from there. You guide them how to enlarge their idea. You help them grow as in a startup. You give them.
So you give ideas.
You give them expertise. You teach them sessions how to
to
grow.
young entrepreneurs.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And this is related to
The entrepreneurial ecosystem.
ecosystem. Yes. So you feel that you are achieving your dreams when it comes to helping others to start their own job. This is currently what you are doing, right?
This is part of what I'm doing. Like this
Yes.
is a huge part, but it's in many different sectors and not just in the entrepreneurial ecosystem. Like
Yes.
you give them. Well, basically, yeah, the focus now is you provide them job opportunities by just making them open their own startups. You're not opening anything from them. You're just guiding them how to grow it. You're giving them sessions how to like do a business plan, for instance, how to meet the right marketing investors or something. So this is just a small part of what we do.
Yes.
Yeah.
And you said that your aspirations and your ambitions is someday you can join the foreign ministry or work in political. You have a political career, right?
Yeah.
This is what you are planning for.
Yeah.
And are you preparing yourself to this?
Yeah. I've been thinking about joining the Foreign Ministry of Affairs exam to be able to be an ambassador.
I think you need to prepare for it.
Yeah, you need like a year to be studying because it's in 3 languages. So for me, I've been thinking about it recently a lot that I want to join the exam because you have it until the 27, the age of 27. So maybe it's time to start now and taking it because it's not an easy one.
Yes. Finally, I'd like to thank you, Lujain Al-Deeb. Thank you for being with us today.
Thank you so much for you.
And by that, dear viewers, we come to the end of today's edition of Today's Youth. Thank you for watching.